Welcome to This Week in Leadership Research. Each week, I share a recently published journal article on leadership research. My goal is to translate the most up-to-date leadership research to leadership practices that help you in your daily work. This week, I'll try to answer a question. With the incorporation of intelligent machines, for example, artificial intelligence, can we still use employees' conscientiousness trait to predict their job performance? This is the question posed in an article titled, When Conscientious Employees Meet Intelligent Machines, an integrative approach inspired by complementary theory and role theory. The article was published in Academy of Management Journal in 2022. The link of the article is in the description section below. I chose this article because it challenged a consensus in leadership and organizational science literature. The traditional view is that employees' trait of conscientiousness has been a very powerful predictor of their job performance. I talked about this in my earlier video on trait theory of leadership. This is why hiring managers are advised to use personality test results to filter out job candidates who score low in conscientiousness. The problem is that the evidence of the importance of conscientiousness was generated in organizational context where traditional 20th century technology was used. The technology was characterized by human-machine interactions based on keyboards, computer mice, joysticks, and monitors. For the technology to work, employees need to give instructions for the passive technology to function. But more and more intelligent machines, for example, artificial intelligence, robots, and algorithms, have been used in the workplace. Those intelligent machines can continuously capture and mine large quantities of data and use machine learning to understand and interpret those data without the employees having to provide guidance or direction. The intelligent machines can also rapidly synthesize information, learn, and adapt. I published 2 articles on what artificial intelligence is and its implications for leaders' decision-making in education. If you're interested, give those articles a read. Back to this article. Working with intelligent machines, employees may experience increased role ambiguity, which refers to a lack of clarity about the expectations of work. So there is a potential psychological downside of working with intelligent machines. Conscientious employees tend to autonomously develop structure and routine in their role, take a hands-on approach to work, and have a strong desire to take charge and accomplish goals. In this week's article, the theoretical and operational definitions of conscientiousness focused on a sub-dimension of orderliness. It was measured by asking participants to rate their agreement that the statements actually describe themselves. Sample items include finish what I start and get things done quickly. When conscientious employees work with intelligent machines, which have autonomous capacities to provide recommendations to employees and even make decisions that are not directed by the employees, conscientious employees may feel confused about what is expected of them at work. They feel uncertain about who is responsible for what outcomes. If an intelligent machine can do my job, then why am I here? What's my role in my organization? The confusion and uncertainty create role ambiguity for conscientious employees, which in turn negatively influences their job performance in the age of artificial intelligence. To develop those hypotheses, researchers integrated 2 theories, role theory and complementarity theory. I've already introduced role theory in a different video. Here, I'll briefly introduce complementarity theory. The central premise of complementarity theory is that people prefer balance. We often prefer complementary matches that maintain balance between our own attributes and the attributes of other work entities. For example, extroverted leaders prefer working with less extroverted employees. Similarly, two alphas don't work well in a team because they constantly fight for social dominance. Conscientious employees who prefer to create order and structure are more inclined to work with traditional technology than intelligent machines. The traditional passive technology has to be operated by instructions given by conscientious employees who may consider intelligent machines as non-complementary. This is because intelligent machines autonomously create order and direct work activities without the input from conscientious employees. They may struggle to find the balance between their tendency to structure workflows and the machine's tendency to do the same. This mismatch may make conscientious employees less effective at fulfilling their role responsibilities. To test the hypothesis, researchers conducted 3 studies, each involving a different type of intelligent machine. The first study was conducted in Malaysia with analysts who worked with artificial intelligence. The second study was a pre-registered field experiment with service employees in a Taiwanese hotel that used robots into service delivery. The third study was a pre-registered online experiment using an algorithm for a business consultancy task with participants from a variety of jobs and industries in the United States. The results indicate that conscientious employees, those who have a tendency to maintain structure and order in workflow, are less likely to benefit from working with intelligent machines. Working with intelligent machines was associated with greater role ambiguity, and this relationship was stronger for employees with higher level of conscientiousness, particularly ordinariness. What are implications of those findings for leadership practices that can help us in our daily work? If we hire employees who will work with robots, algorithms, and artificial intelligence, we may want to de-emphasize conscientiousness, at least job candidates' preference for orderliness, structure, and routine, because they may not perform well. The author of this article recommended that hiring managers include work sample tasks in the hiring process so that the managers can observe how job candidates work with intelligent machines. But the authors did not mention what personality traits we should emphasize in the hiring process. My hypothesis is that at least 2 personality traits of employees may work well with intelligent machines. The first trait could be openness to experience, which refers to being willing to try new things and being open to new ideas and new ways of doing things. The second trait is a proactive personality, which refers to a tendency toward taking actions to change one's environment. Of course, these are my hypotheses. I haven't collected data or analyzed them. If you are interested, feel free to explore those ideas and test the hypothesis. If you're a researcher, I hope the article I introduced today can offer some inspirations for your research. If you are a leader or aspire to be a leader, I hope the articles can guide you in your leadership practices. Stay open-minded, get inspired, and never stop improving your leadership skills. I'll see you next week in This Week in Leadership Research.